Uh, Hello there. Oh, you see stuff happening, but Mr. Explorer, I think you're seconded there. Hello there. Hmm. Now, there's got to be a way I can get that so I can read it. Or am I going to try and move it right in so I can see? Because I look blinking awful in glasses. That's better. I still need my glasses. Uh, It's been some years, hasn't it? I look bloody awful in these glasses, don't I? Let's see, can I read that stuff? That's better. No, kind of hell. As usual, I'm sitting in my back garden. You'll see I've got a nice big blazing fire beside me. Somebody asked about the camper van. No yet. I've been looking at second-hand ones. I've got that 3-night trip coming off. But that'll be March, April. I'm going up to Plockton. I'm a big fan of the Hamish Macbeth series that was on the telly a few years ago. Uh, so I'm going to go up there. I've got it roughly planned. Ah, that's Auchentoshan. I've got that my wee trip roughly planned. I'll worry about it nearer the time. Ah, and Morag's gone with me. And a happy year to you all. Somebody from Texas in. The last time we did this, there was a guy on from North Korea. Wonder if he's got a bad hairstyle. Oops, I can feel the nuke on the way. Ah, Bell Logan 318. Happy New Year from Texas. That's a long way away. They'll still be in daylight. Hmm. I don't know. I managed to get this working this time. I don't know how. Well, I do. I'm a wee bit more practice with it. I might actually do some ad lib stuff. Some of the boys do that. Uh, I've been looking at new equipment. Well, old equipment. I found a Kindle. It's a Kinder in the house. And I see I can use it. Well, you kind of put. You can use it as an ordinary PC. Uh, so I'm going to do that up. Replays. What's the most frequently visited campsite? That would be a big one. I go to the one It's a good one for beginners. All the ones that I go to are good ones for beginners. South Rhymes campsite, just south of Stranraer. Very good. And it's just, you get a wee pitch and it's just like wild camping. That's a place to go to try. There's other places for new starts. Hensel Estate, that's to the west of Loch Ken. It's just a big field, and there's loads of bits that you can go and be on your own and do your own thing. I can recommend that thoroughly. I oh, I wished I'd remembered. I didn't. I had so much on the day. I was working the day, for that charity. Uh, that one that I went to this year, it's just above Auchan somehow, just above Cumnock, I think. That was fantastic. I prefer the sites that are a wee bit on, shall we say, they're no fully tourists. Happy New Year, all. Can see you, but no sound. Uh, I've got to say, can you actually hear me? Somebody say yes, somebody say no. No, I think I'm doing all right. Yeah, somebody say that you can hear me. Right, magic sound. Okay, where did I learn that? No, it should be okay. That's right. Aye, there's a lot of good places down here. There's a lot of good places in Scotland. Isabel Lennox, have you ever wanted to come to Canada? When I was a young man, I'm not fit enough to do it now. It was one of my dreams to go to Canada and just go up into the forest with maybe my rifle and my fishing thing and make sure there's somebody to start a fire and just disappear for a couple of weeks. But I'm too old for that now. You've got to be sensible. Aye, good. It seems to be working. Oh. Aye. Christmas and New Year's been quite interesting. Aye, the local pub gets a wee bit too busy at New Year. I usually go in on the Monday night, that was last night, but there was a party on, so there's no way I was going there. I went in on Christmas Day for a wee while. In Scotland, we celebrate New Year more than we do Christmas. I didn't have much to drink. I Well, my Christmas lunch was the same as my New Year lunch. It started off with prawn cocktail, homemade, then chicken, sprouts, roasties, and Christmas pud. Started the morning, opened a bottle of Bailey's, bottle of Aspis Piemonte, and I just sat and ate and drank all day until it was time to go to the pub. New Year's been basically the same, but I didn't go to the pub at night. It was just too wild for me. You get to an age. But when I was in the pub, I made the mistake of asking them what they were doing at their burn supper this year. Last year I did the toast to the lassies. Christ, damn! I should have been arrested for what I said, but they've forgiven me. This year they've asked me to do the immortal memory. That's a big speech. Okay, I ken a bit about Robert Burns or Robbie Burns. Aye, but I'm going to have to write a speech, and it's going to have to be about 3,000 words long. I'm up to 300 words. I'll manage it. I've got plenty of time. Besides, if I can, I'm going to get one of my mates to video it, and we'll put that up. I'll be in the Highland dress. Right, what else is happening? Audiobooks. I've thought of that, but I'm not the greatest of readers. I didn't do well at school. I was dyslexic. I still am, but I managed to get out of it. But reading aloud for me is a problem. Okay, if I've written the works and practice, I can read it. I can't memorize things now. I'm too bloody old. I am live in the flesh. Audiobook. Now that's an idea. Either that, make some of my videos more like an audiobook. Hmm. Oh, that's good whiskey. You can see me having a belly through the night. Somebody saying hi, Mike. Shaw 3-3-0. I wonder if she's for Hawaii 5-0. Somebody else for Canada. I've actually got relations in Canada. Uh, some of my cousins, laddie, he moved to Canada to work on the railways. He's a boss man of some sort. I had a look at some of Trina's stories. I I don't know if I could read them. As I say, this is the problem. I'm not the greatest reader, and I'm okay at reading in Scots, but to put on another accent of that, hey, in the new year, I'll have a look at it. I've got a couple of your books lying there. I've read them. Somebody's saying the time. Aye, I managed to get in quite quick this time. What about a book about Morak, the dog detective? She's got a bloody nose for it. You know, they say wee lurchers are sight hounds, but that yin has got one heck of a nose. Oh, but it's another, put another feet on the fire, Morag. Ah, they're wood on. And if I run out, I've got plenty more. Ah, how's my new year going so far? Well, we've been all right. Uh, I've been working for Listening Ear. That's a charity I work for. This morning, I went on to 30 odd Facebook sites and put up an advert for volunteers. Uh, took me a couple of hours, no even. In the afternoon, I was scheduled to a phone a friend, give somebody a phone call. It fills a day. And when you get older, what would you rather do? You've got to have contact with people. And even if it's the internet, that's contact. I've written a couple of letters as well. I'm due about three. I better get them done the more. I, but this volunteering that I do at the base level, I get as much out of it as the folk that I phone. It gives me company as well. Okay, I go out with Morag twice a day and I meet all the other dog walkers and we chat. It's what we do. How's the snow where you are? Non-existent. My house is about 200 yards for the sea. for the Solway Firth. The village of Garlieston, where I live, very rarely gets snow. And if we do get snow, it's only a couple of inches thick, and it be lucky if it lies for a couple of hours. But if you go inland, like if we want to go up to Wigton or Newton Stewart, the roads can get blocked there, and we can get cut off sometimes. And oh, I've got the gear ready for if we get cut off. In fact, with all this high winds we've had in Scotland, and all this rain and trouble, and they've had trouble up north, all the roads blocked, flooding, power lines down. I was actually wanting it. I wanted to test all my survival gear to see if I'd got it right. I mean, I made a video as well. Is that me being bad? Probably. And a happy new year to you all. Any plans for this year? Ah, well, the next week I've got some gear for Colombia. Some really good gear this time. No, their gear normally, isn't it? I'm going to do a video on that later in the week if the weather stays as it is. I I'm going to have to get up the forest, and I'm looking at getting into a private estate. Okay, in Scotland, nowhere's private, but there's places and places. And if I get that, I get some good videos out of there. But that's in the future. I'll have to be nice to people. What's this doing here? So, Marina on about our edible mushrooms. Uh, this lassie's an author, and she does kids' books. I can't remember what country she's from. I think she's for the Ukraine, and she tries to grow mushrooms, and she's quite good at it. She's really studied it. Will I be doing any more hikes? Now, I've got to come clean about. Oh, Serena's just said she's from Romania. I suppose it's different. It's Eastern Europe. Yeah, I've got to complain about the health stuff. Friday there was away getting my tests. It was a CAT scan. It was quite funny. They couldn't get uh, my heartbeat down, so they had to call a doctor. And they were loading me through firing beta blockers into me intravenously, and that I'll have to wait 3 or 4 weeks. But I'm doing all right because I've lost that I've lost the weight. I and I know how to handle it. I still get problems, but as soon as I get the problems, I sit down. And if you sit down for 30 seconds, everything goes right again. I do carry oh, one of these, a GTN spray. I've only had to use it once because I was being stupid. I was up dancing with a woman, and we were having one a hell of a time. Aye, that was a good night. It was somebody's birthday. Whereabout am I from? Uh, Originally born in West Lothian, a wee place called Winchborough, and then I moved into Edinburgh and spent most of my life just outside Edinburgh, a village called Curry in Balerno. But I worked at one time. I worked all over Scotland. Was a service engineer. Uh, then I went into paper mills for 12 years. And after that, I went into the council and stayed there. You get a good retirement pension out of the council. That's the money's not great. Uh, but yeah, I know Aberdeen well. I When I was about 17, I used to go with a lassie fae Aberdeen, a quine for Tara. Ah, that was a great time. Any closer to the camper van, it's Dave Williams. As I said earlier, I've been looking at second-hand ones, but I a lot of them are rubbish. There is one or two cheap ones that I could afford at the moment, but once I check their MOT history, you can see it. They're on their last legs. I I know I'm going to put a wee bit to it, but the more money I get in, it's slowly mounting up. Even if it takes me at the end of the year, I'll get a blinking camper van. Happy New Year for 2024. Hi. Oh, somebody in the Netherlands are saying that they're getting wind there. Aye, I believe the south of Britain's getting this wind. I can't remember the name of the storm. It begins with an H. Uh, that's an H. I And the South England has been told that they're going to get 80-mile-an-hour gales. So I'd imagine you folk in the Netherlands is getting. Oh, there it is. Storm Henk. Aye, the names that I think of. Eh? Oh, that's excellent. I chose a good one. Every month I'll get another bottle of whiskey and I'll put it in my collection. And I've got about 15 bottles of whiskey, and they're all slowly, going down. Uh, I don't really drink. I might have a couple of nights a week. I'll hear a wee dram. Ah, Paul Davison. Aye, nice to hear from you, Paul. Just got it bad weather. No, I was brought up in the firms. We said it a wee bit stronger than that with bad words. Aye, I'm slowly learning how to do this. I'm going to do a wee bit more of them just for the sake of learning how to do them. It's all about learning things. I've got some more equipment. I've got a trestle for holding my light. I and I've got a light that I think will last for a couple of hours. If no, I've got a wee secondary light lying there. We just got to see how we get on. It's as simple as that. It's just easy. You just take it easy and do things as it comes. Now, where am I? There's my blinking lighter. Don't say I've lost my flimming lighter. There it is. Aye, I did lose my lighter. My wee lighter I had for 2 years. I'd be lying about the house somewhere, or lost in the car, or dropped in the street. I had to buy another one. If this one lasts this long, I'll be quite happy. Hey, Ella. Ellie, rather. What am I drinking? There it is. Auchentoshan. I'm pretty sure it's it's not for that far north. Uh, but it's easy to drink, and that's the main thing. You want a whiskey, it's easy to drink. I mean, your whiskey, didn't let anybody kid you. Always put a wee drop of water in it. Just a wee drop. If you didn't, it's too harsh. And the idea is to enjoy it. What's my favourite places in southwest Scotland? Well, I live in Garlieston. I used to live in Niall. I lived in uh, a chalet in Isle, and to be honest, if I hadn't remarried, I've got rid of her. My first wife passed away, and I remarried. If I hadn't have remarried, I'd still been doing in the Isle of Whithorn, a wee place called Lake Isle. Lovely wee place. You can see it on the map and see the chalets. I was in number 12A. That's 13 in Scotland, but 13 being bad luck, it was called 12A. I were a superstitious lot. Very. Main spot in UK. Have I been watching your videos? I don't know, but I will. I'll have a look at that. Uh, I do watch a lot of playing videos. Uh, my father-in-law, he was a pilot, so I used to go to the flying club a bit. So I know his mates and that. And I used to go to their dinner dances, Dickie Bow Job. So I read quite a bit on aircraft. Oh, I might have even had a wee shorty one on the fly. I see you in Aberdeen with a spray. Yeah, have I been up Aberdeen this year? I might have been. Ah, Puerto Rico. Even I know where that is. When I smoked cigars full time, I used to get them for there. You make your own thumbnails. Yeah. Sometimes it takes me longer to do the thumbnails than it does to do the rest of the editing. When I got help for the YouTube channel folk, that's what they said. I should be doing thumbnails and making them fancy, putting animals and things on them. That I enjoy it. It's all about fun. You've got to enjoy it. And I'm slowly learning wee bits about YouTube. Like recently, I found that you can add links to two or more of your videos and how to put up a subscribe thing. It's been a slow learning. I'm not as good at IT as I was at one time. I started, well, I worked with early computers back in the 60s, but because I couldn't get a O-level English, I got bumped. But I got a minor qualification at the beginning of the 80s when the PC started to become popular. I I had a Spectrum. I had the one before what was it? I had the early Sinclair before the Spectrum. And luckily enough, one of my mates, round about 2000, he was in, he made, built computers and he got an old one that was getting dumped. And that got me started. I making thumbnail deals is, it's lovely. Who did you spray in Aberdeen? I didn't spray, I went with a lassie for up there. She was in Turra, a Turra Queen. That's me speaking Doric. And the plane spotting guy is half Scottish. That'll be the good half. I'm quarter Irish and 1/16th English. One of my cousins lived in the south of England, Sheila. Her mother had married a guy down there. I, but Sheila was born in West Lothian in the same village I came from. And she never lost her Scottish accent. And down there, she was known as the Scottish lady. I was at her son's wedding. Did I not get up and burst the bullet? I said, and by the way, uh, this Scottish thing, she's more English than Scottish. I said, her father was English. And historically, on her mother's side, she was an eighth English. Oh dear. Oh, I stirred it up. Why not? Ah, aye, it's great to be Scottish, especially this time of the year. You've got Hogmanay just past. When I lived in Edinburgh, we used to have the fireworks, the biggest firework party in Britain. And working with the council, I I used to get in early and get the tickets that I wanted. By the way, I don't know if it's still the same, but I've heard that it's easier for that big do in Scotland, the Princes Street Gardens and the Ross Bandstand. I've been told it's easier to get tickets for that if you order them from abroad. The way the split is, because the Scottish ones just go like that. I think a quarter of them are are sold abroad. So there's a wee hint. Aye, some great do's there. It was a lovely place to go. And then the next thing we've got is the 25th of January, Burns Night, Robert Burns, our national bard. Uh, and that is a party. That is a party. A lot of speeches. Uh, you have the keynote speech is the one that I'll be doing is the immortal memory, where you talk about Burns and have a wee bit of a laugh about Burns. You know, Burns was a bit of a bad lad. He loved the lassies. He had 14 kids that we know of. I think he had a hell of a lot more. And yeah, he was a character, but what a poet. What a poet. And the mark I'm doing is being an illiterate son of a ploughman and a ploughman himself, a farm worker. He was anything but. That man was taught in Latin and French. And he worked for the excise. That's the customs and excise at the end of his life. And to do that, you had to be well educated. Uh, so that's a great time. The other speeches is the address to the lassies, where you try to charm the lassies. And then the lassies reply. And then we have the address to the haggis. That's a Scottish delicacy. Look it up, haggis. And there's somebody pipes the haggis in, and somebody stabs it with a knife and talks about its guts and what have you. And every table's got a bottle of whiskey on it. Good reason to go there. Aye, aye, that's it. We sleeking coolness beastie. What a panic's in your breastie. No, that's to a moose, isn't it? Aye, that's to a moose. I know other words to that. I just can't remember them. It's the same sort of thing, but it's O to a fart. Yes. Aye, Bob's a great man. Aye, Happy New Year. Sophie Thompson. I think there's Thompsons in my family. Uh, well, David Williams, if you enjoyed Parry Handy, watch Rockets Galore, Whiskey Galore, the old version if you can get it, you will enjoy Hamish Macbeth. I I got a full copy. I think there's 4 or 5 series, and I managed to get a copy in a charity shop. But some of it's on the internet. If you hunt around, but if you do watch it from the beginning because it's quite good and it's uh, it's the same style as Parahandy, but only more modern. And you might recognise some of the actors. You might. Uh, Free Spray. Happy New Year, bless. Blessings to you as well, my friend. Hmm. That's another thing that I got mixed up in. I don't know if it's going to come off, but one of my friends asked me to conduct his hand fasting. Uh, I used to do, I'm feeding the fire. Before Isabel passed away, that was my first wife. I used to do a lot more chaplaincy work, and I would do blessings. I was qualified to do marriages, but I had a friend, he didn't work, and that's how he made his money, so I didn't encroach. I did funerals as well, but after Isabel passed, I didn't feel like it anymore. But that's life. Oh, here's something that's a DNA test done. 41% English, French, 36% Scottish, 30% Welsh. I would take the mick out of the Welsh here. Nothing wrong with them. Oh, aye, fellow folk. It's happy with the Celt influence, but more than with English. Aye, well, a lot of folk have got issues with English. I don't know why. I'll tell you, they didn't make a bad droppy beer. And also that haggis that we have, I believe they breed the vegan version, and I will have nobody saying anything against them, especially if they're buying me a beer. Ah, the Maggie, aye, that's well, that was the Parry Handy, was it? I can't remember. Yep, I've got all these recorded. I One of the guys that I work with, he's mad keen on all that stuff. Uh, there was a whole lot of stuff made at the time. Now, these actors that were in these ancient films, most of them became quite famous. I I'm bad on names and my memory's away now. I'm just trying to remember that wee guy was in Goodbye for Him, Goodbye Ronnie Corbett. He was in some of the early films like that. Happy New Year, Matthew. He misses living in Wales. I'm going to put my hands up. I got offered a job in Wales. It was bloody good money and it was a real career changer. But it was at the time when my mother was passed, so I didn't take it. Uh, I've regretted that ever since. But that's what life is. I would have taken that job. I know. Here's fellow folks, backtracking a wee bit like Woody, especially when we let one loose. He doesn't hate English. There he is hating English. We just take the mick out of him. They do the same with us. It's a bit of banter. It's what you do with your mates. Have a wee banter. Any New Year resolutions? Well, with my health and that, I think this could be my last cigar for a while. I've noticed some that I didn't like. I was going to go over to the pipe. Uh, but what I'm going to do if I give these up anyway, I'm going to grow some tobacco this year, and it'll be cigar tobacco. Other than that, it's just to live and enjoy life. Do as much as you can in life. If I seen the state of England, well, I'll be honest, I very rarely go there. I I'm a homebody. I'm so happy with my own country that I've hardly been abroad. I've been to England twice this year. Once to replace my car, which we won't talk about, or I'll end up cursing the bloody local garage that screwed it up. The other time I went to England was when I went to Leeds to be on Steph's Packed Lunch on the telly. That was something. I enjoyed that thoroughly. You could say that was 15 minutes of fame. I was well looked after. A good bunch, very professional, very easy to get on with. I've never worked with people who were so professional. And anyway, they finished that show. Big mistake. But the people that were at work there and do that show, they're so professional. I saw behind the scenes. I saw what was going on. Everything was just, and they were laughing like hell all the time. They were happy. And one of the lassies escorted me to my taxi. And I commented this, and she says, "Well, we get people that's been on other shows, other morning shows, and that. And they say it, the way we work's the best. It's so relaxed and so professional." I says, "You didn't get time to think to be anything else." Yeah, that was a great experience. Paul, you still no saw the right. I'll tell you how to see that. If you go in and look at Steph's Packed Lunch, they've still got the episodes up. It the episode on the 8th of oh, am I going to get this wrong? Was it October or November I was there? It was the 8th anyway. I Now I've got a clip. If you can't get it, I've got a clip of the show. If you come on, I send me a PM. I don't know my Wonder with Mike Facebook page is set up badly. But if you send me a message there, I'll get back to you and I'll send you a link that I've got to both a copy that they gave me and also to the unit. And anybody else that wants it. But try that first. I'm actually not allowed to put I have put as much as I can up regarding that visit to Steph's. Nice person, by the way. I I have put a video up about it. I have a look at it because that's the stuff that I shot when I was there. Right, Paul's going to give me a contact. Somebody from Malaysia. That's a wee bit far away. Come on, we're getting near Korea. We'll have that guy from North Korea on next. Now, none of you's asked him about his hairstyle, for God's sake. I've told you, I don't want any nuclear missiles coming out here. It would disturb Morag. Might even disturb me. Oh, I'll get a few more of these tonight. I might get to the pub later. Ah, it'd be all right. That's Jonathan. He's in for Germany. I think it's Germany. Aye, Germany. Aye. I've been to Germany. I went to Germany on my honeymoon. Uh, Rudesheim on the Rhine. The Drosselgrasser. I did a fair bit of drinking up there. And the Asbach brandy place. Aye. And of course, we went out of Munich, and up the Moselle and that. We were heavily into wine. Aye, Paul. The nuclear bomb wouldn't have wakened us all up. When I was a young man, I was a member of the Auxiliary Fire Service, and that was our training for nuclear war. I wanted to join the fire brigade, but because I couldn't spell, I couldn't get in the brigade. But in the auxiliaries, we actually run to fires as well to back up the regulars. I think well, I'd looked at all books. I'd attended about 350 fires, and I think five of them I was officer in charge. The guy that sits in the front left-hand seat. Had anybody else, so they picked me in. I was only a laddie. I'd up to one job, and we're getting a redirect, and this officer came along, and he just took one look at me, and the guys in the back were busting laughing. They were all older. I said, "Hey, he kids what he's doing. We'll make sure he does." Oh, it was good. It was great times. All these sort of voluntary things. I've always been involved in voluntary things. I I think it's a great thing in your life if you've got something to do as well as your work. As well as that, I was involved in swimming. There's a swimming club in Edinburgh called the Grove. I was a member of that since I was 12-year-old. I think I'd done about every job in there. I was their coach. I was their president for a while. Now I'm a life member. I still drop in when I go up there. Still good touches with them. But that's the sort of thing I did all my life. Uh, and there's Arena. And again, I actually like Germany. Of course, it's the same sort of area. In regards to the rain, we're not made of sugar. I'm sure it applies to Scottish people as well. Well, living down here, you look all around you, and we're in a microclimate. Yeah, well, last cigar, if you believe that. I'm trying to. We live in a microclimate, so we didn't get it as bad. Even 10, 14 miles up the road, you've got Newton Stewart, and we look up there in the mornings, you can see the clouds up there. We're quite protected down here. It's a lovely bit of the country to be in. It's ah, it's just bro. Aye, Muck Chef one. Is it Muck Chef? I can't see. Even my glasses on. Aye, I've been there. I've got to be careful. I I'm determined to get on the win this month. Up the Galloway Forest. I've got a couple of spots that I can dump the car, and I've not got that far to walk. Uh, if the worst comes to worst, I've got that place in the South Rhymes where I can drive right in and park. Uh, for anybody that's interested in camper van and that's another good place to go to if you want a first camp because there's toilets there. Aye, it's handy down here. There's loads of places you can camp. You don't need to go away into the wilds. When I was younger, I did. I did all sorts of daft things. And now I've just got to be careful. And the quicker I get this medical stuff sorted, the quicker I can go a wee bit further. Because I've got loads of places that I want to try. Our Loch Doon. I see Colin Russell. Are you listening, you bugger? Scottish Wild Camper. Have a look at his channel. Colin Russell, Scottish Wild Camper. He's been doing a lot of camps Loch Doon. I he doesn't say exactly where he is, but I know Loch Doon quite well, and I I came with his camping, so I'm going to try some of them. Aye, Karina, aye, the big waves at the Isle of Whitehorn. I've got some beautiful photos that I took years ago of that. I got too close and absolutely buggered my camera. But the camera I like's quite cheap. My big camera anyway. Yeah, you get some lovely waves down here, crashing on the rocks. Good photography down here. I've actually misplaced the wee camera I carry. I don't know where I've put it. It's in the house somewhere. That didn't care where everything is. I can remember putting it down, but I just can't remember where. I'll, I'll have to have a wee think to myself. Aye. Big Rick, happy new year for sunny Garlieston. Aye, aye. Wonder who Big Rick is. But he says he's in Garlieston as well. Aye, he must be in the pub or somewhere. Oh, wait, I think I can who he is. No sure. Aye. Aye, it's a nice wee village it will live in. There's never much bother in it. I checked before I moved down here. I checked all the crime figures. You can get that off the internet. I was living in Whitehall at the time, and I went through all the checked everything and worked out all the percentages and got it back that there'd only been 5 reportable crimes in Isle of Whitehorn in that year. Now, I lived in next to a pretty dodgy area in Edinburgh, 20,000 crimes, that sort of thing. And the 5 crimes that were in the Isle of Whitehorn in that year, we were sitting in the pub talking about it, and we identified every one of them. And you know something? There's not bloody one of them it would have been made anything, if it had been up the country. That's how we are here. Oh, aye, old fellas. Aye, Wigton is a braw place. That's why I settled here. Where else? Ah, I thought it was you, Rick. Aye, I wasn't sure. F1, check the figures and have a drive through at 9 p.m. That's when the characters emerge if there are any. Nah, I think you see more people in these areas at 9 in the morning walking their dogs. Love Light D from Florida. Hey, there's Steve Hobbs. He lives in the village as well. Well, let's go. Who's the village? Hi, Steve. See the pub on Monday night. He's a member of the Stout Fellows Club as well. The Stout Fellows Club meets on a Monday night, and we talk about everybody in the village and have a good time. Sometimes even have a sing song. I'm not going into what time of night we leave. Aye, Karina, aye, you're well garlic. Aye, you go into the woods round about here, and oh God, in the spring, first you get the bluebells, fields of bluebells. And as the year goes on, the smelly garlic, wild garlic, oh goodness gracious, it overpowers you. A stunning's the word. A bit late for Happy New Year, but it counts. Sky having an amazing year. I'm hoping to have an amazing year. I'm looking forward to my trip up north and just slowly watching if I can get my hands on a van. Even if I can get a wee van and put what they call a boot jack in the back. Aye. As long as it's roadworthy and going a couple of years out of it. But everything I've looked at now, when you check the MOT history, you can tell that they're not going to last long. Ah, Steve couldn't make it on next Monday, so we're back to Leeds. That's the thing. I'm sorry that when I was doing in Leeds, I couldn't get in touch with Steve because, well, they had me that well organised. I Steph's packed lunch had been that well organised. And I'll be honest, I wasn't very well. I had one hell of a head cold. The night before the event, I turned the heating up in the room and got a couple of duvets and started drinking water and some other stuff at the chemist and just to sweat everything out of me. But we could have had a few pints, but ah well, it was the be. These things happen. Steve, I'm in my backyard. I've got a wee patio set up here. I've got a fire burning beside me, and I've actually got a canopy here if I need it. I've checked the weather forecast. I'm going to be all right. And I've got a bag of keyboard so it doesn't get wet. Aye, this is my patio. I sit out here most nights and just have. I listen to the radio. Uh, Aye, I'm at my house. I'm just getting nipper and grab another bag of love. Aye, got to keep the fire going. Get my knife out. Open all. The only knife you own. Ah, I've got all sorts of fancy knives there, but I always come back to the open all. They're cheap and they've got a good blade on them. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. A wee bit more than I should on, but I'll keep it going. Aye, aye, chief one. Aye, it's great to hear fire at this time of year. As you see, recently I've been doing an experiment with the hot tin. Used a paraffin heater. It also acts as a stove. It's a strange thing, but we were brought up with paraffin. I lived in Ferrum Cottages, and haircuts were common back then, so you always had paraffin, and I think nobody using them. Uh, some folks say they're dangerous, but I'll tell you, I'd rather have a paraffin stove than one of these big gas heaters, colour gas heaters, and they're cheaper. And you can make them cheaper because they'll burn anything. But where am I from? I tell you this earlier. I was born in West Lothian and brought up just outside Edinburgh. But the reason that I've got a heavy accent is I spent a lot of time with my mother's family. I and my mother's mother, she was from East Lothian and she spoke Old Scots as they did on the farms. And I was brought up speaking Old Scots, just like what you'll see in some of Robbie Burns's poems. I and I lapse into it quite a lot. When Manny Rita was on the way out, I used to, well, being the oldest son of the family, I used to go and see her in the hospital and the care home and that. And as she got older, that's me on that again. She would only speak Lads, and I was amazed how easily I hadn't used it in years. I was amazed how easily I slipped back into it talking to her. It's a lovely language. It is now an official language of Scotland. English, Gaelic, and Scots, they call it. So I think we've got three national languages. Aye, Big Chef, it's a language made for poetry. There's been one or two other poem poets and a couple in modern times, but with my memory, I can remember the guy who did TV at we Hogg. I've read some of his poems, and there was a guy in later life, I think he was a professor or something. Uh, he was a guy, now, he invented a word, this professor, Anglophobiac. Anglophobiac. Somebody who didn't like the English. Oh, he just made up the word, but he was anything but an English hater. It was a good word. Oh, right, you're talking about the comedians now, Dave. Aye, Big Conley. I, I met him once. He was actually in Garlieston once, many, many years ago. But I think they were taking the mick out of the boy. Not the thing to do. A great entertainer. Very great entertainer. I knew him as a, a banjo player. I saw him at a thing with Mark McGinn and got talking to them there. That's back at that. God, I wasn't even married at the time, so it must have been the 70s. Uh, but I've been listening to a poet today, Chubby Brown. Go and look him up. You probably wouldn't watch my stuff after watching Chubby Brown. You'll say, what are you watching that for? That's bad. Aye, and one of the Northern Irish comedians, I like them. One of them. Uh, these Northern Lights. What's some of the Northern Lights tonight? Wait, no, I wouldn't see it. There's cloud cover. There's cloud cover. And I can't drive anywhere for better because I mean, having a wee bevy. I'm into any sports. Yes, which ones? Uh, I never liked football. Uh, for obvious reasons. I went to a few matches with my dad, and I didn't like the comments that were going on. But for myself, for many years, I was into Scottish swimming. I was a swimmer. I was into fishing. I ran a shooting club for a while. I I shot for a while. There's a couple of blue caps on the top of my wardrobe, so it must have been good. Didn't like the shotgun, liked the rifle. But now, since I came down here, I've retired. And now, hobby. There is only one hobby, isn't there? Get out there, go camping, go for a walk, get out of the house. That's my hobby, get out of the house. This guy out for Norfolk, Sebastian. They're getting hellish winds down there. Yeah, South England's getting hammered now. According to I was watching the weather forecast at 6 o'clock, and the wind is going to get really, really bad. They've said there's going to be as much as 80 mile an hour. Uh, I didn't fancy it. I'm glad I'm up here. Aye. As I say, we've in a microclimate here. Now, I use the Met Office for my weather forecasting, and I've got to be honest, the Met Office is the most accurate weather forecast that you can get. Okay, sometimes they get it wrong, but they're never far off the mark. I And if you watch it for your own area, you can get to know when it's going to be off the mark and know. Like I'm starting to get a wee bit spitting coming down. That's great. I I'm not worrying because I know that's as bad as it's going to get. So there's shit for you. If you're going out, even locally, learn to use the Met Office. If you do, first thing, look at the wind speed and direction. Direction, okay? And then watch the rain. And it'll be reasonably accurate. Uh, it's Karina said that she uses the Met Office as well. Karina lives near me, and they find it very accurate as well. Uh, if you're working outdoors and doing things which involve standing outdoors, now I know Karina runs a stall up at the Wington Market on the Saturday, and you've got to check the weather. But luckily, her stall's usually on the side where there's no wind. Ah, Steve, was there a beach swim yesterday? And I didn't think there was what a beach swim yesterday. I had time too. I could have been out of that. I, I've got a couple of wetsuits, but I've got one that I've not tried recently. I tried it when I was a wee bit heavier. It's a 10 millimeter. That would have been good for this weather. That would have kept it cold away. Oh, I'm getting this blinking. The wind's starting to come up. Ah, the swim was at the outer harbour. No, that would be impromptu. Usually when they're having a swim, it's usually Christmas Day or New Year's Day, and they usually have it behind the village hall, doing the slip there. It's nice and shallow, and You can walk a fair bit out. Whereas at the Black Beach, the other side of the harbour, it goes down quick. I was down there the other day, and person, I was going to be rude, some person had let one of these inflatable kayaks float out. So I just stood there and watched, so I had to swim out and get it. I think if I had there, it might have been in the middle of the Solway Firth by now, away at the Irish Sea. Uh, right, let's see. Have I seen sharks in the area? Now, I've never saw them, but I think it was last year or the year before. Yeah, we've saw dolphins, but we had basking sharks. We had a basking shark off the back of the harbour. Uh, another wild swimming place from the beach here is Rig Bay, and it's shallow as well. Now, that is one of the places that practiced the Normandy landings, D-Day, because it was shallow. But that's another good place for the wild swimmers. We've got a lot of wild swimmers here. Aye, yeah, you have to be born again mad to be a wild swimmer. We've got a load of ladies round about here. They call them the Mackers mermaids, and they do wild swimming. Uh, One of my friends for the company, she used to do wild swimming, and I think there's more women do wild swimming than men. Goodness gracious, I see them all doing it, and I go, "God, how the hell do you do that? It's blinking cold." But they say women have got an extra layer of fat to men. Ah, which you've got to be careful swimming off the lifeguard because the water drops off so quick. You go for 8 feet to 70 feet. You've got to be careful swimming there. I'm watching the darts tonight. Go away, I'm talking to you lot. That's been entertaining. I see this a young 16-year-old. The guy's doing well. Aye, good luck to him, like. It's nice to see a young guy that's got his future mapped out. He's got a skill. He's got, he's going to have a good life. Plays his cards right. Sorry, throws his darts right. I know she can't even stand. I know cold showers myself. I went to the saunas a few times. I should have sat on a Wednesday afternoon because we were servicing cash registers. All the shops were shut away. So you went and done so. You went to the sauna, and you used to have to go through this plunge pool under the cold shower. No, been there, done that. Ah, Nessie, of course I believe in Nessie. I thoroughly believe in Nessie. So naturally I believe in Nessie. It makes him will flog anybody, anything. I even believe that haggis is an animal, right? If you've got that. Oh, 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 it's a bit wet, so it will get to me. I think I've got the glasses on. Oh, who was it who used to do this? Eric Morecambe. Just like that. I used to watch rubbish TV when I was young. Ah, see, if you beat it, the bonfire it bigger. I, my daughter's just got a house down for there. Uh, again, when I was looking to move to Edinburgh, I looked at bigger. It's a lovely place, and there's plenty in it. I, a Scottish chef, the singer fella, can't remember his name. He, well, he had, 10 years ago. I don't know if he still has it. There's lots of nice places in Scotland. Bigger has a fantastic wee village, and it's got so much going for it. Right, Larches. My daughter was the principal. It's a great social thing. A lot of drink is taken. It was that bad that they had to the Curry team. They went bigger for their ride in the marches. Uh, Hired horses. They didn't take the road, and I gets a phone call. Father, will you come and piss all up? We can't drive. I went there. There's five or six of them steaming. Scottish word for drunk. Oh, I just threw them on the back of the flat. I had a big Jeep at the time. I threw them on the back, took them home. But riding the march is a big thing in Scotland, in the borders in particular. I worked at the riding the marches. I was chief marshal at Curry for a while. Uh, that's the guy that makes sure that they do what they do. It was great fun. Let's see what else is happening. Bigger. Am I getting water on my mic? Does it sound like there's something wrong with it? Actually, I don't know where the mic is on this. Uh, how's that? You can get them for about £15, 13, £15. I got a load of freebies, and it's got a trebly battery in it. And there's the size of it. And, yeah, look at that. They light up a room, and they're handy, and they've got a keychain thing on them, but I just slip them in my pocket, and they're there all the time. They're handy things. That all light stuff is quite good. A wee bit expensive, but quite good. Hi, Steve. Which speech are you doing this year? I'm doing the immortal memory. So if you want to do the address to the lassies, get on to Carol quick. If you get it, I'll send you my speech. And I've got two speeches. I've got the one that I did and the one that I wanted to do. But you can get away with if you get the one that I did and just alter it, it'll be easier. If you're no used to it. I've got the problem. I've got to do about 3,000 words. I I'll manage it, but it'll be a lot of work. But what I need is, I'll be at the top table. I don't know who I'm taking with me. I I need somebody, to work the camera, to work my GoPro, because, we've got permission so far to video the whole thing. Now that's gonna be a good video. Not just the bit that I do, the whole thing is gonna be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's a bird supper that we're talking about. Right, okay, that's a sound better. If there's anything wrong, folks, just shout in. I I'm not going to put the awning down. I could put the awning down, but it doesn't even feel wet. That's just one of these things. Aye. What else have I got planned? I'm going to have to work on the walk. The problem is there's books and maps, uh, and I've found that a lot of them are inaccurate. Not the ordinary survey stuff, but a lot of the stuff that people have put up, it's been put up a while back and it's not been re-researched. You've got to re-research your walks. The Forestry Commission, that's not the right name, but you know who I mean. They want to get around and remark their paths and maybe do some maintenance on their paths. Uh, there's a lot of maps that are up there and they're just no right and they're dangerous. Just look at that one that I did down at Wigton Harbour. If I had done that walk the other way around, I would have walked 3 or 4 kilometres and came up against that fence and had to try and struggle over it. As it was, I maybe went about 400 yards at the most and met the barrier. That is just showing what can go wrong. I had other maps. I found a lot of the stuff in books just isn't accurate. So I'm also saying to folk that are doing that, get out, and if there's things wrong, especially the internet stuff, it's easy to fix. I bet you say, I'm 75 and I could fix it. Get out there. And if you can't fix it, get one of the school kids to help you. Just they can fix things better than we ever can. Ah, and, aye, habit wise. Uh, I probably don't mind with a lot of stuff. As I say, it's this health thing, it's the problem. The quicker I get that fixed, the quicker I can start to go a wee bit further. I am fit enough to use smaller tents. Well, I might be fit enough to use smaller tents, but I'm fit enough to take them more than half a mile. Of course, the answer is to do more car camping. I might say that car I've got, I if I could get the back of it properly decked out, I could do more car camps. But the problem is the guys that are really good at car camping, uh, they're all, all looks very good. They're using the same car, but they're smaller than me. And also, I've got a long body. I've got short legs and a long body. So in the back of a car, it's cramped. I could walk around that, but I'm going to have to look at that uh, because the few car camps that I did were absolutely fantastic. Uh, my drink of choice for tonight. The drink of choice for tonight is a single malt, Auchentoshan. It's quite a good one. Uh, I can't, I can't see where it's from. I think Auchentoshan's round about the Campsies. I'll get around a minute. Right, when are you going to do that camper trip that I've got for Steph's back lodge? Uh, I spoke to the guy at Tartan Campers and he's advised me, it's a three-nighter, and he's advised me to go March, April, just as things are picking off. And that's what I intend to do. Now, it's a short wheelbase camper, so it's the same size as my car. I drive a Vauxhall Safari at the moment. I What I intend to do the first night is drive up to Oban, go up the rest and be thankful through got Loch Gilphead, and I'm aiming for probably the Tesco's car park or the one in front of Tesco's. I know there's a good curry house round the corner. The second night, I hammer through to Plockton for my Hamish Macbeth experience. The third night, back to Fort William, and then get up early, hammer down the road. I might stop at Tyndrum in Greenwelly for the breakfast, or stop at King's House in Loch and Glencoe for the breakfast if they're open, and then back to. That's what I intend to do. But we'll see what happens. I might change my ideas. Yeah, Marth, he's for Clydebank. Hey, don't mention Clydebank. You know why I'll be going to Clydebank, do you? Don't you? That's the hospital at uh, they do the heart operations in and some of the other fancy stuff. I've been going there to get my stents put in. I've been there once before. There's a good Chinese there, and they deliver to the hospital. I I went to the reception in this hotel and I says, I'll need to get the number of the local Chinese. I fancy a Chinese. And they gave me the number. I says, hey, do you want us to send up some plates and knives and forks to your room? I thought, yeah, Scottish hospitality, second to none. Well, the live stream now that I found out how to do it, I'll think about doing some. I might even do one for a campsite. I If I use my phone as a router, I I could use this setup. My brain's thinking ahead. Because as I say, I've just found that Kindle and thinking of using that. But yeah, I'm going to do more of them. You know, like Bladnoch single malt. Yes. Gladnoch is the local distillery just up the road for us. And it's the most southerly legal distillery in Scotland. We won't go into the illegal ones, probably in my house, but the Gladnoch has been taken over by a new group and they've put new stills in, or still heads in, and they are making a hell of a lot of different whiskies. Most of them are made for the young market and they're being exported to Australasia, Australia and New Zealand. That's where the guy comes from, owns it's bought the distillery. Uh, but yes, they're making a good drop. But then again, as somebody said to me, as there's no bad whiskies. There's just some that are better than others. Oh, right. Oh, see if you try to go to my leg. I've been up there, it's easy. Oh, and a camper. Could be a problem there. Talk to me in the pub. Uh, aye. Some people have converted some strange things to camper vans. Here's Dave Williams said there's some people converted a hearse, a coffin carrier. There's no bloody way I'd be seen in one of them. And the common one is converting a horse box. I saw that regularly. Or converting an old ambulance. But I just want to convert something wee. You know, my days of driving big wagons. Okay, I've driven emergency vehicles in my life. I've driven a fire engine. Uh, there's a story that we won't go into it. It's not wholly illegal. Uh, but yeah, I've converted all sorts of things. I'd be happy to convert my Vauxhall Safari. Somebody that asked me about favourite campsite in Galloway. Depends what you're wanting. Caravanners, there's loads of stuff. Campers, there's loads of stuff. There's some that steer clear of. I won't name them. I'll just say if they're too touristy, have a look at the pictures. Don't go there. There's one or two that you get all the idiots coming down the central belt. I'd keep clear of them. You know the ones that I go to? I make videos of them. Have a look at them. The camper vanners, there's loads. There is also a load of these smaller ones. I, if you know what, full facilities. And there's these, my pronunciation's going to be wrong, airs. I, one of my friends has an air up at Frugaldub. Frugaldub. It's up beside the Three Lochs campsite. I, there's a lot of, there's loads and loads of places. Book ahead. And if you didn't book ahead, find a lay-by. There's loads of them. I hear somebody that loves Ballachy. Ballachy's a good campsite. Sorry, I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I like Ballachy. I know the people up there. I was at a dance with them. In fact, I'm due to go up there this year. I was meant to go up there this year, but things just got busy. That's an easy campsite for me. And I believe at the end of the year, they do some music venues. That it's a very good site. And the facilities they've got, yes, very good. very good. Uh, View to you. Greetings. No, I've only been to Ballacadee once, and I can't say enough about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a sort of campsite that I like. Uh, why did I not go back? It's too easy. That's blinking by. Oh, well, put some more logs on the fire. Ah, ah, that's a good brazier I've got. That'll fire up in a minute. Aye, I enjoy my camping. It's something it's worth doing. Uh, I may say this year I did some strange things, didn't I? How about that one that I did? On the paddle steamer Waverley. I've always wanted to go down the Clyde on the Waverley. I'll be honest, I'm not a good traveller. I was absolutely stuffed full of seasickness pills. Uh, but I got out of the arm, Brodick. I could have continued on the boat and had a meal on the boat, but I thought that would be pushing it. So I spent some time in Arden, and then we met these folk in Arden. And that lassie done a runner because she got the beat a wasp instead of a. That was a good impromptu video. And I came back for that, and there was a pipe band on that. I got a good pipe and play. And then I just got off the 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 paddle steamer Waverley, jumped into the car, came right back round to the Fleming Harbour, onto the slipway, and I got the boat, uh, the ferry, out of Great Cumbria. And that's another lovely wee place. You can get out there at daytime at all, and there's loads of places to camp. That was a brilliant. That was a brilliant. Did I just do a one night out there? Aye, what a bloody fool! I just did a one night. I should have done a two nighter there. Aye, but I'd like to go back to Arden, and I've been told uh, the folk that run the pub here, the Harbour Inn, they've got relations that run a pub in Arden, and they've tell us there's plenty of places for camper vans to camp, and if I can get into them, I can get a tent up. First comes to worst, I'll sleep in the front of the car. What have I missed? Uh, Fire Volcano, hello! Hey, some of the names that I see on this thing, I don't know. Where do you get them? I don't know if I could, if there's a way that I could rig it so I could enlarge the comments. Steve? But Steve back said Ballacadie's up for sale. Goodness gracious. That'd be a good wee campsite for somebody with the money. If somebody's got the money, that's a good wee business. Right. The Ratchers, will you ever see you doing Big Steve's, Big Stew's, Spam Dads? I watched Stu for long enough. I He's no on now. I don't know why. I was hoping to meet up with Colin Russell, Scottish Wild Camper, to find out, but I liked Big Stew, the stuff he'd done, and he liked the spam. I like, well, it's no spam. Uh, when I was young, back in the 60s, we called it Ulster Fry. But after the Troubles here, that became unpopular. It's now called Bacon Grill, and it's a great standby. You can't beat it. I, I've even got a wee machine for cutting it, so the bits are the same size and they cook better. I still regularly have well, I don't have spam as such. Yeah, I do sometimes take spam, but I oh yeah, why not? Do the spam dance. One of these times I'll do the spam dance in honour of Big Stuart. In fact, Stuart, if you're about, come on to the site, give me a shout. I Colin knows my personal thing, but I can be contacted through my site. Come on. Indiana someday. Fire Burkina, is that a boulder behind you? No, that's my house. I'm sitting in my patio, and as I showed folk earlier, I've got a fire beside me here, and this is where I sit out at night. I can't read all that for Indiana. Does someone accompany? Does somebody accompany me? I no. I think I'm on. There has been a couple of times when a friend has been near a hat in a camper van, but maybe I'm hard to live with. I'm always on my own. I take more like occasionally. I It's no fairness some of the places I go. And she likes to go up to the kennels and Newton Stewart. I'd like somebody to accompany me sometimes, but it's not always possible. You never know what's in the future. Old fella, Port William, the shore looks great if you can welcome. Now that's not nice mentioning at Port William it's also got a smelly harbour. I actually looked at houses in Port William. The smell put me off. What it is the seaweed comes over the top of the rocks. And if there's any sunlight on the seaweed, it stinks to the high heavens. But you get used to it. You get used to it. I don't know where I'd camp at Port William. Hey, by the way, there's a campsite there, a very good wee campsite. But if you go north of Port William, as if you're going to Auchinmalick or going up to the A75, there's a bit next to the foreshore that is used extensively by the camper vans. I've camped there a couple of times. It's a good place. That's a place for you. Free camping. Uh, that's Fire Volcano said, aye, it's a nice house. Thanks for calling it a boulder, you bugger. Ah, that's one. Has anybody count? How many is that for? I could see me throwing the cork away on this. Ah, ah, tonight I've got this. PC plugged into one of the freebies that I got, an all-pairs 600 or something. I and it's running away there. Is it hard to reach where I live? No, there's roads all the way. It depends where you're coming from, but a sat nav will get you right to the place. Ah, Dave, well, you're up in Glenlivet. I wondered how you knew about whiskey. I used to do fire safety work when I left school, and I used to go up to Glenmorangie. That's up in Tade. I was in quite a few distilleries doing fire safety. Aye, I like the north of Scotland. I just watched The Wicker Man. Uh, have I watched The Wicker Man? I watched The Wicker Man in Edinburgh back in when it was first launched. I didn't fully understand it then, but it was a great film. I, as I told you, I lived in the Isle of Whithorn, just along from where The Wicker Man was shot, and I've got loads of stories about The Wicker Man and how it was shot. And in Wicker Man 3, you'll see the the girl who's meant to be not the girl Wakes, the girl who's meant to be the principal, the wee blonde piece. You'll see her riding the distant side saddle. That's actually my daughter. That's my Fiona. She got paid to do the double. She's into horse riding and that. Uh, but the stories that I have regarding that I've gleaned uh, from the locals regarding the making of the Wicker Man. I, I won't put them up on the video, but if I was doing a tour, I would privately tell them. Yeah, it's a great film, and as some of you have probably guessed, I follow the Druid faith. Uh, okay, I was ordained into one of the Christian movements, but I follow the Druid faith. So the Wicker Man is very much to my heart. Poor, I didn't know there was a Proctor's just down from it, Kilmadrid. Uh, Now, Kilmadrid, that's the name of the local Knights Templars commandery. I wonder how I know that. Um, yeah, Wicker Man. That's a great film. Oh, some likes me. Thank you, Charlotte. Is Morag around? Yes. She is probably sitting on my settee with Brendan, the cat. She likes her comfort. What is my favourite cigar? Well, normally I smoke villagers, but for many years I used to smuggle them in. I used to smuggle them in through the internet. And first of all, I got them from uh, a crew in Germany, Cigar Versend. And then, you cigar guys, listen, I used a firm called Cuban Crafters in Florida. My favorite, of course, was Don Kiki. Now, I've had many a delivery for them. Now, when they're putting it through the customs, they don't put on their cigars. They just maybe put on the name of the cigar. And I've had loads of cigars for them over the years. Now, the deal is, if you get caught and the customs do you, you just say, I keep the bloody cigars, uh, and claim that you know nothing about it. I'm giving the secrets out here, but the sort of prices, now I've not done it recently since I retired, but go back to when I was working 2012, 2013, I'd get a top of the range Churchill cigar. That's a 7 incher, nice thick thing. I'd get one of them for about a pound twenty, a pound 25. You'd hate to buy them in bulk, maybe £200 or £300 worth. But that same cigar that I was paying a pound 25 for would cost me near enough 20 quid in Scotland. So if you like a wee gamble, I know it doesn't work with the cigarettes. The cigarettes guys always get hit coming through customs. Try Cuban crafters. Uh, and if it works out for you, let me know. I might have another wee gamble. But they're really good quality. They've got all sorts of things. Look for the bundles. If you don't do the Don Kiki, they're top of the range. Uh, go for bundles, and you get all sorts of cheap cigars. But oh, a hell of a lot better than the crap that we get. And sorry, that goes for flipping King George V as well. That's cigars. When I was around, hope I'm not too cold. I've got a roaring fire next to me. And besides, I'm Scottish. We sunbathing weather like this. I had somebody in from Oklahoma. Have you ever been to Edinburgh Castle? I lived in Edinburgh, and I've been to the castle many a time. When we were young guys, we used to go to the Saturday matinees and this Sunday afternoon pictures, and then we'd go up the castle and we'd torment people. We'd torment the guards. We'd torment the tourists. Yeah, we used to go up. But as time came by, when I was in the fire brigade, I used to do the fire watch up there during the fireworks display and during the tattoo. And I had a great time up there. And when the fireworks were on, there was one time I had a squad. I was in charge of a squad inside the castle, away up at the top, uh, just in case anything went wrong. And it did. The wind was terrible, and two boxes of fireworks that had been primed fell over. So I hit the deck, and I got my helmet in front of me, and I've got my hands behind my helmet holding it on, and I got a couple of strikes, and they just bounced off. I and as the first box finished, I got up there. There's two young guys, just new to the job, and they're trying to run towards me, and I'm going, "Get down, get down, you daft fuckers!" And the next box went off, and I don't think I got hit with one of them, but there was a couple of MPs, military police, and they're running away along this wall. And one of them got pinned to the wall. His coat got pinned to the wall with one of the rockets. And there's one of the older guys that was in the team. He had dived down a set of steps, and as soon as the rockets had stopped, all you saw was this guy. His name was Tiger Mackenzie. He was like on the top of the steps. He's like this, laughing like hell. Aye, I know Edinburgh Castle. It's a great place and worth a visit. Actually, come to think of it, I did the fire safety in there as well. That's another story. Indra, didn't you worry about your grammar. I can pick it up. Remember that English isn't my first language, so I know the problems. I'm also dyslexic, so yeah, what the hell? What's my favourite season of the year to come? Spring. Spring into some. No, my favourite is autumn. I like the back end of the year. I always have flight to autumn. Because the way I look at it is, I'm in the autumn years of my life. I'm not in the winter, I'm in the autumn. Don't get mixed up. Aye, autumn's the greatest time because there's still warmth in the country. Spring, you can get a lot of rain. Autumn, it's just nice. Just nice to relax. Get a good fire going all the way. Ah, Steve just put some of that. It's retracted. My table is tipping, that's right. Aye, well, it's two chairs with this bit of wood in between. And I'll be honest, the chairs are there at the same level. I really should do some work on it, but I'm a lazy. I've never been one for doing much gardening. In fact, I'll be honest, I'm not a gardener. I worked in the forestry for a year. I could do things if I'm forced to do it, but I've got a greenhouse just over there, and I grow tomatoes. That's about it. I've got my smoker in there as well. And, you know, I've got all the gear. I've got all the electronic stuff, but I've got a chipper and I've got a very good lawnmower. One of the local guys cuts my grass for me. Uh, Happy New Year for a couple of guys must have just found out about us. Aye, that's how things are down here. I When I first moved down here, I was probably really ill. I had just been through prostate cancer thing, and although I did well through it, I wasn't firing on the full shilling. And one of the locals, he does a few gardens. Ah, I'm looking for a wood chip, but uh, I'll tell you where to get. Uh, Helena, I'll tell you where to get wood chip. Dead easy. Uh, you'll get big bags here. Go up to Penkillen. It's at the old airfield. It's a wood yard, and they'll just tell you to go round the back and fill bags. And they want about £1 a bag. And it's good quality wood chip. I used to use it when I had hens. Uh, so Penkillen, the wood yard, at the old airfield. I can't remember the name of the airfield. You know what like my memory is. It's on the way up to it's not, I think it's Bladnoch Airfield. A name like that. It's on the it's before you go down the hill to the Bladnoch. You turn in there on the right hand side and you'll get wood chip. No bother at all. Loads of it. Anyway, what you want? Oh, you'll be wanting the Cl- you'll be wanting the wood chip for gardening. Here's a guy offering you send his bookie slips. I if you've got a load of small uh, twigs and what have you, uh, small branches, I've got a chipper that you can get already. But I've got to be honest, Penkillen's the best. Ah, that's right, Steve. Crooked Ball Dude. I always get mixed up with it. Ah, yeah. You're using the you're using the chippings to keep the unwanted foliage in. That's quite common. I'm sorry to say, but Penkillens is the best. I'm not encouraging you to cheat, but they never count the bags on the way out. Aye. Uh, no, your chances of getting chippings is few and far between. I I don't know any of the local foresters that have a chipping machine. I I don't. Now, this is off the wall, really off the wall. Forestry Scotland or Land Forestry Scotland, no Forestry Commission. I I can't see it, but it's worth asking. The other one is just to get. I don't think sawdust is any good, but you could always try that crew that make the garden furniture up the other side of Newton Stewart. What should I look for? If I'm looking for a spot, how do I do it? I watch everybody else's videos. Now, I've I'll be honest, I've not got a good memory for the written word, but I've got a good visual memory. And I could tell looking at somebody else's videos and looking at the shadows and all the rest of it, roughly where they are. I then go on to Google Earth and I've got a pirate copy of every ordnance survey map in Britain. So I can sometimes work out, but what do I look for? Health problems. It's got to be near the car, somewhere I can park the car safely. What I like is something that I can make secluded. I love to be beside water. Some of you have worked out where I go to up in the Galloway Forest next to that water. I found that place by watching the boys. Big Stuart made the mistake of driving his car in, and I saw the road. I know where that is. I found it. There's all sorts of ways, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet. Now, privately, some of the guys will tell you where they are, but I won't put my connections up on my videos. Uh, I get into a lot of places, and sometimes the landowners have said, okay, but please don't advertise it. The reason we don't advertise it is there is a lot of wild campers out there, or would be wild campers, guys want to try it on, and they're just a bloody pest. They're party animals. Nothing wrong with having a party when you're out. We all do. I'm having a party tonight. But there's a lot of people out there spoil it for others. I just saw a video today in Loch Doon, and the mess that was left behind at this spot was unexcusable. That's a big word. Let's see what's there. Yeah, we're talking about tree bark and other things for wood chips. That's what it is. Painkiller is all there is locally. There is nowhere else. Or is there? Look around. Look around. There's a good chance that there's other places. Phone the Forestry Commission. And if they don't do it, they might be able to tell you who buys the stuff. That's where they get it. Aye. What's that? Tony making comments about Scotland and the midges. The famous Scottish midge. What a beast. The Loch Ness Monster? Nothing in it. The Scottish midge. It's a wee beastie, you can't even see it. And it'll give you more bloody trouble than a nuclear missile. But what I will say is take precautions. Now, I've found that Avon, also soft, works for me. I also burn one of these spiral things, but Avon, also soft. I've also got a net if things come to the worst. I've never had to use it on a video yet. There's loads of nets commercially there. Grab one. Uh, Colin, you finally found me. We've been talking about you. We've been talking about yourself and Stuart and all the rest of them. And you'll probably mention twig to some of the places that I've mentioned. I've tried not to name them, but there is a certain spot that we've both used near, shall we say, near water, which is easy to park near. I saw you up there in the past with the Italian connection. Maybe we could meet up there sometime and hear chinwag. See you, mate. Oh, hi, Steve. You'll have to tell me about that place. I didn't advertise it on here because the idiots, they're not all good buddies that are here. I I call it, definitely. Well, hey, me up. I've been watching your videos. I saw the one today at the bottom of I Loch Doon, the new one with the rapids. I worked out where it was. I'm not telling anybody. I think no, I couldn't get in there in the state arm now. But once I get the flipping the ticker sorted, that's a good spot. Aye, there's loads of good spots round about Scotland. Absolutely, loads of them. There's loads of good whiskey in Scotland as well. Aye, I like a good swallow. Well, the rain stayed off, uh, and I'm managing to. My light has stayed on. Now that lighting system that I'm using for this, the guys that are into Wild Camp and Colin and that, I that's been on for God knows how long since the beginning. And it's easy to carry. I've also got one of these. Why doesn't it last so long? It's a bigger version of that I've got. It's got something like 16 bars. It's a good lighting system. And here's Jack Strange on. Equipment wise, that's a nice wee place. I better put the last of my wood on. Oh, just throw the whole bloody thing on. I'm getting married tonight. Oh, get my feet on the table. Aye, it's been a good night. There's cloud cover, so we're going to get it nice and warm tonight. And it's time is it anyway. Jesus God, it's nearly 9 o'clock. That means I've been yapping for nearly 2.5 hours. Ah, old fella. Aye, asked me why I've had to wait so long. NHS. There's been problems with NHS. I had an issue in December 22. I went to the doctor in January 23, and I still hadn't heard from them by September. Uh, so I phoned them up. They said, "Oh, we'll give you an appointment." Buggers. So after two cancelled appointments, I finally got an appointment. Very thorough, by the way, very thorough. Uh, and then I had to wait until the 29th of December to get a CAT scan. Now, I reckon I need stents put in. I've had stents put in before, and it was all done and dusted within 4 months. We're having problems with NHS at the moment. They're inundated. There's too much hassle going on. I think they're a problem getting staff and all the rest of it. I We'll see what happens. I've actually did a lot of work myself. I'm medic trained. I used to run a treatment room in an industry. I've lost 2.5 stone. Put a wee bit on, but I'm still under the 2 stone. I can handle. I have to carry one of these GTN sprays. I can handle if I feel something going wrong, I just sit down for 30 seconds. That's all you need to do. That's what I say to folk. If you feel going wrong, sit down for 30 seconds. You'll be all right. Start again. I've only had to use the GTN spray once, and I was being stupid. I was up dancing with a lady who had one of these wrap dresses on which was falling off. We won't go there. That was a good night. Uh, but I'm now waiting for, they say 4 weeks for the doctor to get back to me on the results of the CT scan. We'll see what happens with that. But back in January, when I was told that I had to cut everything back, that's when I stopped doing any heavy camping. I was hoping to go over to totally car camping, but because of issues, basically I'm too bloody big for car camping. I It didn't happen. So what are we going to do? We're just going to have to go with it. I'm going to have to do wee things. Don't do anything silly. Uh, I'll be honest, when I'm setting up my tent, the first thing I do is put up a chair, set up my tent. Maybe halfway through, I have to sit down for 30 seconds. But what the hell? You can manage. Screw the nut. Sorry, that's Scottish. Screw the heat. Be sensible. What's That's fine, volcano. Wish me a wonderful night and have a good one. Well, I think I'm going to have to agree with that. I didn't realise it when I ratted on so much. Uh, Colin, if you're still there, give me a shout. I think I think you've got my PM. I've PM'd you a few times on one or two of your things using my non-deploy. What's my non-deploy? My Facebook page, Pat Macker Lane. Try looking for it. Anyway, that's where they get me. But you should be able to get me through Facebook through the Wander with Max site. Chris, Happy New Year. He must have just found me. Anyway, I'm starting to get a wee bit inebriated. Uh, the fire's starting to die. I think it's time to go back into the house. I'm not going to try and grab something to eat because I've had too much to drink, and you shouldn't go cooking when you've had too much to drink. Yeah, I think we'll call it a night, folks. Right, Steve, good night. Stout Fellows Club, the first Monday you're back. By the way, there's a couple of other guys that are moving into the area. Might join as well. That's Monday night for the boys. Anyway, here's to you, my friends. And let's all have a good 2024. I had to check that. Here's to you. Happy New Year. Have a good one. Bye.